Hey guys, what's up? So today I'm going to tell you how I plan to live for $1,200 a month to maximize my savings so that way I can afford to buy a fourplex for about $500,000 or $600,000. Okay? So yeah, $1,200 a month is not very much money to live on per month, but I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do it. Now, I do live in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm actually just north of there, so in the metro area. But the cost of living here is fairly low on a national level. Now, to put into context how little $1,200 a month is, the average McDonald's worker, if you were to work for $8 an hour, 40 hours a week for 52 weeks a year, would be about $16,640 per year. Divided by 12 is about $1,386.67 per month before taxes. So that's about $1,350 per month to live on. Now I want to live on $1,200 a month, which is $150 less, okay? So not very much money. Now obviously I make quite a bit more than $1,200 a month, but I want to maximize, I want to save as much as I can so that way I can afford to buy, my goal right now in terms of saving, what I'm saving for, is to buy a 4-unit property, a fourplex. And the reason it's a fourplex, not a different number of units, is because you can get an owner-occupier loan from a bank, which is at a higher or lower interest rate typically, and it's at a lower down payment. So if I was to do a conventional, I could probably do like a 20% down payment, but I may even go and do like an FHA loan, which is only up to a 3.5% down payment. Now that's a little, and I can get that with lower credit. And of course, I'm only 19 years old, I opened my first secure credit card probably 2 or 3 months ago. I tried to get a credit card the other day, they still wouldn't give me one, probably because I haven't built enough credit history, but that may be an issue when I'm buying a property. So I probably want to buy a property in the next 6 months or so. So by then, hopefully I'll built up enough credit and I'll have enough saved up with this method to then afford to buy a fourplex. And at 3.5% down, I can get a fourplex, quite an expensive one. I'm thinking maybe in the $500,000 to $600,000 range. I've done a little bit of brief research, and I think at that level, with 3 other tenants plus me living there, it will be able to either cash flow to where they'll pay the entire mortgage plus expenses, or maybe just me paying like a little bit, like $500 a month or something, like lower than I'm paying now to live. But at the same time, obviously the reason to buy a fourplex like that is, one, the other tenants pay your rent, but they're also building equity for you and paying off your mortgage. So eventually you will outright own that property, and then you can collect all the rent and put it straight into your bank account. Okay, so here's how I can live for $1,200 a month. So I don't know if you can see this up here. Right now, I currently pay $575 per month in rent. I do have a roommate, and I rent a duplex for $1,150 a month. So divided by 2 is $575. Okay, so that's $575 gone from my $1,200 budget. I have $100 in insurance, car insurance that I pay. I pay it every 6 months, but it's about $100 per month. And so out of that, now I have that $675 that I've already expended out of my $1,200, leaving me about $525. Yeah, $525. Okay. So now I have food and gas. I looked at my expenses for the last, month or 2 months, and I'm like spending like a ridiculous amount on food, probably like $800 a month or something stupid like that. And just because I've been going out to eat a lot, and it's really not necessary and probably not good for me either. So I think I can cut probably $500 a month in food expenses just now that I'm conscious of the expense. And I could probably lower my food plus fuel for my car expenses down to about $300 a month. So that's where I get that number. I don't really drive very much. I work about a minute away, so I can literally just walk to work if I need to. And then the only driving I really do is like to church, and then general errands and stuff, which is I maybe fill up like every 2 weeks. And I don't have a super fuel efficient car, but I don't have a super gas guzzling car either. But I probably spend maybe $50 a month on gas, so not very much. And then the other expenses, education, I do buy books frequently. Books are an extremely cheap way to get knowledge, really condensed, approved, good knowledge, as opposed to maybe buying a course, which is going to be far more expensive. And you definitely get a lot of good value in a course, but like right now, the kind of knowledge I'm trying to learn is found typically in books, a lot of business books, and books on other subjects too. So some expenses for education, and then just other miscellaneous expenses, household items and such. But yeah, so not a lot. I'm a very simple man. I don't really require a lot of money for entertainment. I don't really desire to live a very frivolous lifestyle at this point. Most of the things I like to do are free, and I don't buy clothes. I don't really buy expensive items, jewelry, anything like that. I bought a mini bike, which was about $350. But I had the exact same one before, and I bought it for $350 and later sold it for $550 after I use it. So it's really not an expense, because if at some point I want to buy the house, then I can instantly sell the mini bike and get all my money back. So it's really just transferring my money into another form, but then I can later easily liquidate into cash again. So typically, maybe I'll spend like $300 or buy some expensive item every month or so, or a couple months. But now that I'm on this budget, I'll probably lower that. But yeah, so I mean that's my goal. I'm this way. If I'm only living on $1,200 a month, I'm able to save far more money than I normally would have because I think I've been living for like maybe a double that, or like 2,000 plus a month, just because I haven't really been conscious as much of my finances. I do not have a car payment. I bought my car outright in cash a couple of years ago. I don't drive a super nice car right now, and I don't plan to, because I'm maximizing my savings in order to be able to afford real estate. Then once I have real estate, I will start generating passive income, passive equity building, and my plan, down the line is to purchase a fourplex and then live in it for a year until I think there's a standard like time you have to live in the place before you can then move out, and then you maintain the same loan in that same place, but then you can go and I could then leave that fourplex and go buy another fourplex and live in it. But then now they're paying off the loan, but I add another tenant, and so now it's positively cash flowing like $1,200, $1,300 a month, because I have another tenant in that one, and I moved over to another fourplex to repeat the same process. So maybe after another year, I've saved more money. I can now afford another unit. So now I have 8 units in just a year's time, and they're building equity and now positively cash flowing. So I plan to do that maybe 5 or 6 times over the next 5 or 6 years, and then at that point I'll probably have $5,000-$6,000 a month in passive income at a minimum, which I could basically retire at that point if I wanted to. Of course I wouldn't, but I will then basically be financially free. Of course the market right now is really high in terms of real estate, so that's why I'm waiting a little bit. I think the Fed is going to lower interest rates again, so I might be able to get another 3.5%, 3% interest rate, which would be amazing. But then the market will go down and I can afford a nicer property. So that's my plan, and that is how I'm going to live on $1,200 a month to maximize my savings from my work as a marketer, and then buy real estate. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions about my plan, if you'd like to know how I'm going to do it, how I'm living this way, please drop a comment below. Please subscribe for more information and like this video if you enjoyed it. Thanks. This is Daniel. Have a good day.